Hey, Stephen Brooks here, and I teach traders to generate a very reliable six-figure salary, really trading less than 2 hours a day. And the way we're able to do that is by teaching those students and client of ours one single strategy in one single product, then aggressively removing every potential distraction away from that one single strategy in that one single product. Now, of course, when it comes to trading, everyone cares about making money, right? I want to make $1,000 a week. I want to make $2,000 a week. I want to make $10,000 a month. And because of that, every single decision that a trader makes on a given day is based on, well, did I make money from this or did I lose money from this? The problem is when you grade yourself and you make decisions based on something you have little to no control over, that is when bad things tend to happen. So what I'm going to teach you today in this video is the one question you need to ask yourself every single day when you're done trading. And based on your answer to that question, that is where adjustments and potential changes should come, not from the P&L. But before we get into that, you need to understand how I arrived at this point. In a former life, I was a baseball player. I played in high school, I played in college, and then I played for a brief while in the minor leagues. And of course, in baseball, what matters to the players is the batting average. Right? The higher the batting average, the higher draft spot you might have, the more colleges may look at you, the more playing time you may have, and the higher up in the professional organization and in the professional ranks you will go with the higher batting average. So all players that I played with were obsessed with the batting average. Right? Did I get a hit today? Did my batting average go up or did my batting average go down? The problem is, similar to trading, when I was doing that in baseball, I was living and dying. I was happy or sad based on something that I had very little to no control over. So in college, I hooked up with a very good coach. He's actually the hitting coach right now for my alma mater, Wake Forest, who, as of shooting this video, is the #1 ranked team in the country. What he instilled is something that stayed with me forever. And when I transitioned from the baseball world into the trading world, it really helped me majorly. So this coach, his name is actually Bill Salento. He's the third base coach and he's the hitting coach for the Wake Forest Demon Deacon baseball team. Again, ranked #1 in the country, pretty awesome. Finished second last year, awesome. What he said was, look, Stephen, you got to be able to grade yourself on something you can control, not your batting average, right? You shouldn't get one hit and then be happy all of a sudden. You shouldn't get no hits and then be mad all of a sudden. You need to be able to grade yourself, at least as a baseball player, and then we'll get into trading, based on things you can control. So he said, Stephen, as a hitter, what can you control? Okay, well, you can control what pitches you swing at, right? Are those pitches that are in your wheelhouse? Are you swinging at pitches that are solely in the strike zone? Or are you swinging at pitches that are potentially out of the strike zone? That is something, as a baseball player, you have control over. The second thing is, were you making solid contact? Right? As a baseball player, you can control making solid contact, but once you make that contact, you can't control what happens after the ball meets the bat. So there were a number of things as a baseball player you could control. And what that generated was something known as a quality at-bat score. Right? A quality at-bat score was your batting average based on if you did the things well that you had 100% control over as a hitter. So what ended up happening was, instead of posting everyone's batting average, and again, you can just look online to see your batting average, but instead of posting everyone's batting average, what our coach would post, again, his name was Bill Salento, what he would post is your quality at-bat score. Right? So there would be scenarios where you would maybe go 1 for 4 in terms of your batting average, but you went 3 for 4 in terms of your quality at-bat score. Now, normally for good players, that would reduce the batting average, but it was how you were able to remain confident because you were able to do well and successfully the things that you could control as opposed to things that were out of your control. So you would have a day where your batting average went down, yet you went 3 for 4 with your quality at-bats, things you could 100% control, and thus you felt good and confident. And what ended up happening was, over the course of the season, Because we could control our quality at bats. Again, the pitches we were swinging at, were the pitches in the zone or out of the zone? Did we just hit the ball hard? Did we move the runner over? Did we have a sacrifice fly? All those things. What I noticed was the more I focused on my quality at bats, the more I focused on the things I could control, my batting average would go up. So you can even look this up online. My junior year at Wake Forest, I hit 349, which at least then was a really good batting average. I'm not sure what they do right now. But around the midway point of the year, I was hitting under 300. And this is when this coach had this conversation with me. He said, Steven, forget about the batting average, forget about the scouts, forget about the fact that you want to get drafted. Let's just focus on the things you can control and keep on doing those better and make adjustments based on the things you can control. Now, at that point, I had about a 290 batting average halfway through the season. And this is already after like 100, 200 at-bats. So that was a pretty big sample size. But my quality at-bat score was about 350. Right? So it wasn't very good. So he said, let's focus on every single day having your quality at-bat score be higher. And basically what that means is every single day, let's make sure that the things you can control, you're doing them better than the previous day. And what happened was every single day I went out there, I would focus on the things I could control. My quality batting average went up. It went from 350 to almost 600, so it almost doubled. And in doing that, my batting average went from 290 to finish the season at 349. Now, for some of you statistic junkies out there, when you have 300 at-bats in a season and you already are into 200 at-bats, with only 100 at-bats from where you are to finishing, that's a smaller sample size than you originally had. So my batting average, in the time that my quality at-bat score went from 350 to 600, my batting average in that period was like over 400. And it was simply because, or at least I attribute it to, me focusing on what I could control and then grading myself and being happy or not based on the actions that I had 100% control over. If I had known that earlier in my baseball career, you might all know me from TV playing baseball as opposed to being one of the top trading coaches in the world. Now, how does this come back to trading? And what is that one question you should be asking yourself at the end of every single trading day? It's simple. How did I do with the things I could control? Right? So what normally happens is most traders, and this is why a lot of them are unsuccessful, will say, well, I made money today, it was a good day. Or I lost money today, it was a bad day. And again, you are living and dying based on something you cannot control. But what you can control is things like, did I follow my trading plan? Did I use proper trade size? Did I enter and exit correctly? Did I limit all of my distractions away from my strategy? Thus, if you take a look at that and you grade yourself off of those things, what you're going to end up seeing is over time, the more of those boxes you can check, the better your result is. And those boxes, all of those boxes are things that are 100%, something that you can control. So at the end of the day, you should be asking yourself, how did I do with all the things I can control? And you should have a scorecard or an Excel sheet or a piece of paper to be able to make sure you did these things correctly. So let's say you have a day, for example, where you make $200, but you didn't follow the plan. You used too large of trade size and your entries and exits were terrible. Those are days you shouldn't be frustrated with yourself, but you should say, hey, good. This is an opportunity for me to figure out why I didn't follow my plan, for me to figure out why I didn't use proper trade size, for me to figure out why my exits and entries weren't very good. Because normally you'd say, hey, I'm good. I made $200 today. But the reality is, out of the things you could control, you didn't do them very well. So whatever those things are in the market that you have control over, your trade size, the product you trade, you following the plan, your entries and exits, what internal or external communication is coming into you, whether you're being distracted away from the model you want to follow or the system you want to follow or not. If you focus on that, and if for the next 90 days, you can check every single one of those boxes in terms of you did a good job following and doing what you could control, I promise you the result, the thing you actually care about, will be better than anything you've ever experienced before when it came to the market. Now, how do I know this? Well, at this point, I've taught 6,000 students, and what I could tell you is for the people who spend their time and energy when it comes to trading, focusing on the actions that they can control and doing them properly, I've actually never met a student who was not successful who was able to do that. Now, I know some of you might be saying, oh, you can't say that, compliance, blah, 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 you can't say that. Honestly, I've never met a student or a client who was able to nail every single day all the things they could control who lost money. I've never met a single student who lost money doing that. But I've met a lot of people who lost money because they do a terrible job at the things they can control because they're so overwhelmed every single day with, did I make money or did I lose money? So if you want to become a better trader, if you're somebody who is looking for consistent results, predictable, consistent results, like a salary, wink, wink, you need to start with what you can control. Over the next 90 days, if you can successfully do everything that you can control when it comes to trading. Did I follow the plan? Did I use proper trade size? Did I limit my distractions? Just those 3 things and nothing else. If you can do that every single day for the next 90 days, literally, it's almost impossible for you to lose money. But the challenge is actually being able to wrap your head around focusing on those things that aren't dollars and cents related. So again, my name is Stephen Brooks. I teach traders. Really, some people had no experience. Some people had some experience. Most people had no good experience. But I teach traders how to generate a very reliable 6-figure salary consistently by focusing on one trade and one product and then aggressively removing every possible and potential distraction away from that. Again, if you're interested in something like that and getting a result like that, go ahead and click on the link that I've added to the description of this video. What's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and schedule a call to speak with somebody on my team. And on that call, we'll see if you're a good fit to work with us in the salary system. And if not, look, it's no big deal. It's okay. But at the end of the day, you will get the best results you've ever experienced in your entire life when it comes to trading if you focus on what you can control. Because the reality is, to date, you probably have not gotten results anywhere near what you desire. And if you got results that are nowhere near what you desire, based on focusing on the end result, the P&L, maybe it's time to switch it up a little bit. Right? If focusing on your P&L, if being happy when you make money and being mad when you lose money has gotten you to this point where you're inconsistent, where you take 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, then it is time to change something, at least in my opinion. So for you out there, what are the 3 things you can control every single day? Did I follow my plan? Did I use proper trade size? And did I eliminate every possible distraction away from that? If you do those 3 things every single day and put black tape over the P&L or the statement from your account, I promise you in 90 days, 3 months time, even less than that, when you rip that black tape off, you're going to be like, holy shit, I made more money in that 90 days than I have in the last 9 years. So again, if you're interested in seeing how my clients consistently generate a 6-figure salary from trading less than 2 hours a day, go ahead, click on the link in the description of this video, schedule a time, book a call to speak with somebody on my team. If not, and you found value in this video, go ahead, click on the like, share it with your friends, subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified every single time I come out with new content, and I'll see you on the next one.